was. Hot water, please. After you take care of your man's. Disconnect, reconnect, disconnect. You know, I got off the Facebook to get on the Facebook. I disconnected on purpose. That's how you kind of cleanse, even if it's for a little bit. I feel like I'm psychologically cleansing on the Facebook, off the Facebook. This time I disconnected though, like everybody thought I blocked them. That's what they always think when I deactivate my account. They think I blocked them. What's up, King G? Thanks for jumping on here real quick, man. The matriarchs, they gave me their word they're gonna send some real juice tomorrow, so I should have enough to send for you. I can't sit down and talk. I got let me show you. That's OG. That's OG. I'm gonna send you that email. Matter of fact, I give you my word. I'm gonna send you the whole package, that whole email. Just go ahead and leave it here too. I don't know if you sent it in the text, the box. I've been scrolling through hundreds of messages, man. Send it in the text message right now. Let me go ahead and get you since we're here. Now that OG, right? That OG right there is gonna roll with us tomorrow. I'm starting to set up meetings, man. One of the corporation owners, he keep on calling the security on me at the McDonald's, and I'm trying to work on a family there, you see. So when the security officer came in today, he sent them more. His head was shaking, looked like he was controlled by the gym, man. I promise you, he was scared. He was scared of me. I served him papers. I served him copies of my airship. I said, proof of service, you just been served. I said, give it to the corporate member and telling me if he keep on harassing me, I'm gonna sue him. I'm not playing, man. So, perfect, baby, man. We're ready. Tomorrow, if I get this telly, just like the Ma said she was gonna do for me, then I'm gonna go ahead and especially if I have enough left over, I will shoot you that, King G, by any means necessary. I'm gonna get that to you because it's only right, man. We sitting here doing everything we can while everybody else is, you know, they ain't trying to put their boots on the ground. They not trying to put their boots on the ground. That's what we trying to do. Because look, I just got a whole bunch of youth. I'm in the IHOP. I start telling everybody everywhere I go, just keep on sharing, right? Just like I'm doing. These boys is ready to go. These youth, these young boys, I'm talking, they ready to go. The one little boy sat at the table, he like, shit, what the fuck you talking about? You talking about business? I said, hell yeah. You want to become a trustee, have an estate, have land, have wealth? And I broke it on down to him. When I broke it on down to him, they was like doing Southside whistles and they finna bring their family, because how am I gonna call meetings with FBI agents and security and the damn international community and the Secretary of State and trying to commandeer post offices and all of this shit that I'm trying to do that y'all see me doing? I promise you, bro, I'm not saying that you my cash out. You give me yours and I'll send you something tomorrow. You done sold in enough, brethren. I'm gonna sow into you now. Listen, there's another thing happening, right? He who has the gold has the authority. Gold on the periodic table is AU. They know I transferred the wealth, 27 billion, into my account, and it will be honored because nobody's rebutting it. In law, when you make a statement of fact on the record and nobody comes back to you and says, hey, that statement of fact is false by these truths or laws, you know what the law is saying? Whatever you saying is true. So they can't fuck with me right now. They cannot deal. All right, bro, I'll send you the cash out. We can both exchange love. That's how I go. The matriarchs that I'm helping their sons get extracted, they banding together and holding me up now. All the youth here It's busting the move. I got the elders. I got the youth. I got whoever's on their way here. Now, when I get about 5 to 7 personnel, people that actually know what to do, like when somebody walks up, hey, we the heirs. You can't touch this person because he worth or they worth. Come on, bro. We have to start understanding operations here. It's bothering me. We don't understand that. You can't just have a man walking around worth a city and not have him some damn family members to hold him up when somebody question that. That's the heir. That's the heir. That's my family. We're family. We're trustees of this estate. What the fuck you talking about? How is this not so easy to understand? This is how you protect the wealth. You protect those who have it. Oh, because I'm not flossed out and I ain't flicking and blinging and shit with stop spinning, it's spinning, baby, it's spinning. What the fuck? I ain't spinning enough for you. I ain't shining and blinging enough for you. So you don't think I'm worth that much? Well, Mark Zuckerberg walk around in damn Tom-Toms and jeans, and that ain't worth 20 billion. Stop playing with me. You know, Warren Buffett drive around in an old ass Cadillac and eat at McDonald's every day? Go research Warren Buffett. He worth like 20 billion. So don't get it twisted because you see me on here and I look a certain way. You think that I don't have exactly what I have. All you have to do is be smart enough to observe the truth. I got all the factual documents. I have all the proof. I have all the witnesses. Y'all want to see them? All you got to do is email me. All you got to do is send me a text message at 202-826-7011. Then when you get all the proofs, if you're not stupid, you're going to go get all of your family members and you're going to say, hey, this nigga got money. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to say, if you want a part of this money, you're going to have to get to him or talk to him and tell him you want to get to him so he can send for you. Come on, baby. Stop playing with me. But y'all families sitting here starving in a motherfucking ghetto, excuse my language, in hoods, and fucking whatever else you starving in. You ain't got no motherfucking wealth. And if somebody is talking to you saying, hey, I got wealth and I can prove it. And all you need to do is come and sign your name to be a part. I'm trying to bring the tribes together. Y'all dead as fuck in them communities. Y'all dead as hell in them projects. Y'all dead as hell in them schools. Y'all dead. Y'all minds dead. Your heart's dead. Your chakras dead. You're sad as fuck. You going to them churches. You're crying like you ain't got no sense. You don't know what the fuck to do. You don't know how to control your emotions. Why? GMOs in your food. Fluoride in your water. Rubber feet. Man, I'm telling the truth. Well, I know you coming, Mo. I know you coming because you smart. You know I showed you the proof. They seen it on live Facebook. I proclaimed airship in front of 7 commissioners. What the fuck more does somebody need? Y'all want paperwork? Y'all want paperwork right now? Y'all want paperwork that y'all can share and get a whole bunch of damn people on here to see the paperwork? I'll break it all down. Then I'll break down all the laws that protect us. And then you tribes are sitting there dead as shit in all of these projects and communities. Bring your ass to some gold. Bring your ass to some oil. Bring yourself to some food and some rich soil. You understand? Because I'm giving this shit away. I'm giving the land away. I'm giving the monies away. I'm giving the gold away. Yes, they socially dead. There's no way you can tell a community that there's wealth and they just sitting there like duck. If you tell a community of people there's wealth somewhere and they sit there like, huh? Something is wrong with them. They mentally enslaved. They have to be socially bound. They have to be mentally bound because people who understand wealth principles, wealth building principles, we need bodies now. If you got land and you got gold and you got natural resources and you can prove it, then the body should be digging that shit out the ground. The body should be sitting there at the round table with the old corporation members, the old people that used to run the city. The body should be doing that. But we sitting there, we on Facebook, we liking this shit. Y'all think this shit's a game? I'm using this Facebook as a platform to try to get to y'all, but y'all just sitting on there like this a game. This ain't no video game. It's real land. It's a real city named Hobbs. It's a real birth certificate with a name Hobbs on it. The birth certificate is a bank bond, and that bank bond is connected to the corporation, and the corporation is mine because I own it by blood, by lineage. Fluoridated water, calcifying a pineal gland. They can't even think. They can't even make a decision. Hey, mom, I'm finna pack my bags up because this nigga, there's some wealth over there and he proved it. And I want to go get some. I did. I seen my wealth and packed my bags up and came over here and took that shit. And y'all sitting over there playing. You got wealth. You got land. You got communities. You got people. You got generational wealth. Let me break it down to you. 100 years go by. 200 years go by. 300 years go by. Where the fuck is all your family's accumulated wealth? Tell me. Where? Everything they ever owned, the homes, the nuts and the bolts, the cars, the material goods, where the fuck is all y'all shit at? You know why you ain't got it? Because you ain't claimed it. Guess who got it? The state got your shit. Bah, the black state. Bah, the white state. Bah, the state. Anybody but you. Why? Because common law principles. If you do not claim it, it does not belong to you. So the state claims it. And you know what happens? They take all of your wealth. And they pretend that they you. And every time you walk around and sign your name on anything, guess what happens? They take your autograph. And you know what they do? Please tell me what they do. Oh, what did they do? Share it on up. We can tell the truth all day around here, and y'all just gonna be still dead conscious minds. Like, my social security number is really a checking account, and this man's on here telling me this list. Everybody knows. That's why I can sit on Facebook and tell you this shit, and I never get kicked off, because everybody knows. They want the corporate structure to know. They want these people to get free. The people don't want to get free. That's the whole thing. They don't want to shed y'all blood. I'm talking about the ancestral spirits, or the beings, the like beings that communicate the thought in your mind about the truth. How the fuck did I know this and find it out? I woke up one day, some ancestral spirits talked to me, or my own mind talked to me, and I started researching. And I was tired of being fucked up out here. So I tried to figure out a way out. And then I found out the way is law. Ooh. Divine law, baby. Connected to the nature. Connected to earth. You can see. We break it down to you all day long. They separate you from nature. They separate you from your chakra points. They separate you from your energy. They separate you with rubber soles on your feet. They separate you with GMOs. They separate you with chemtrails. They separate you with music. They separate you with frequency. They separate you with words. They separate you with lingo. You fucking separate. You have no body. You're not constituted. You don't have a thought form that is strong enough to make impacts in the earth. What did I just say? To the collective body of the Asiatic Moors, your thought form, your thought patterns are not collectively syncing enough to make an impact in the earth. Because if they were, then it wouldn't take 105 years for you to be able to get your act together. You see what I'm saying? If you look and you go into the temples and you're going into the children and you're seeing all of these teachings on Facebook, for a whole year I've been watching teachings, listening to teachers, listening to hoteps, listening to more science. I'm sick of hearing it. I want somebody to take their hands and do. Are you serious? You gonna sit up and tell me I'm a lie to my face? Oh, you're an heir. Oh, there's treasury. Oh, there's love. Oh, there's wealth. There's peace. There's freedom. There's justice. You gonna tell me there's some justice and I ain't getting it? Huh? You gonna tell me I gotta pay somebody after you tell me I'm the heir? You gonna tell me I gotta hand up my sweat equity after I know that my blood is what is the reason why these people are doing commercial activity? Still raping you, still taking your money, and you sitting up there playing the role. We done. We're done. If you give another dollar to these motherfuckers, then I'm happy you a slave. I ain't gave it to them. I ain't giving it to them. Boy, look, they will get a writ. They will get an affidavit. They will get me acting a motherfucking fool, but I am not doing it. I'm done. Yes, we are other than unified. Listen, I've shown everybody, brethren. Everybody. Oh, and this whole year, just because I made a few mistakes, now people ain't trying to look at the information? What? I done corrected all errors. I done corrected everything. I done sent people back money. I'm organizing people right now to get the, in Alabama, to get the people out the war camps. Right now, 12 families. They calling my phone every day. They sending, they helping, they communicating with me. We're getting it done. Because whatever's wrong with the people that I kicked it with in the beginning, y'all have to understand something. We learn as we grow. Oh, they was messing with me. They came and met me. They listened to me speak. I told them what I wanted to do. I brought them through some processes. Some of those processes didn't work. They lost a little bit of bread on it. But I'm telling you, I bet you I recouped that bread 1,000,000 times. Just open up your ears when I'm trying to talk to you. Because it ain't nothing but information anyway. And if it's true, then you're supposed to do, it's your duty to do what's right. Oh my God, listen. The oil in this land reproduces itself. I'm telling you, the soil that I'm standing on, they've been mining oil since 1911. Where is it coming from? It's organically producing itself. That's why the whole entire city is worth $27 billion. Shit, I keep on stressing it. I keep on yelling. I keep on getting on Facebook. I'm sending email after email after email. What is wrong with these people? They don't want to be wealthy. They don't want to collectively get together and be rich. They don't want what? Oh, you want to see some bling bling? Is that what makes you think I'm rich? Some bling bling? Oh, you want me to send you some money? You want me to send you some energy? Is that what makes me rich? No, come see the law. Come see the paperwork. Come see the transfer of the whole entire city into my estate. Come see the fact that after I put it on the record, nobody rebutted it. Nobody still called my phone and said, hey, you just claimed airship to the entire city 3 days ago. That's untrue. You're not an heir. And a day's going to go by, and they're still not going to say it. Hey, brother, can I get some water, please? And some lemons, hot water and lemons.
Hot water and lemons?
Yes. Thank you, brother. They're not going to say it. You know why? It's my Earth Day. That's why I'm staying on here. It was my Earth Day yesterday. At 2:52 p.m. a.m. I was born. You see? p.m., excuse me. Yesterday at 2:52 p.m. I would sit on here with anybody. You ask me questions. You set your email in here. I'll sit on this line, and each time somebody sends me an email, I will send them an email, and my email will prove to them that we have wealth. When my email proves to them that we have wealth, if they don't seize the wealth, then happy slavery. Pre-existing corporate, and we could set up shop in less than a year. Man, in one day. Listen, I told 7 employees at IHOP, and all of them are on board. Y'all fucking missing it. These common folk around here in this common land, boy, they ready. They're like, what? It's about damn time. Our time? You telling us it's our time? Yep. Look at these indigenous rights. Yep. Look at these laws. Are these laws? These are laws that we can stand? Yep, you can sure stand on them. Yep, they're made for you. Yep, and if anybody gets fresh, the United Nations will come bust their ass. All you got to do is know who to talk to. Man, we're going down to the police department tomorrow. All of us as a tribe. Because you want to threaten to call the police, there's a delegation of authority right there.
You did say hot water, right?
And lemon.
And lemons?
Delegation of authority.
How many cups? 1 or 2?
He gonna wake up. I'm gonna get him up. 2. Yeah, I will. Yeah, bring me 2. See, I'm taking care of OG, and I'm gonna take care of everybody around me. You know what I'm doing? Since y'all won't come, I'm grabbing up people on the streets. Just like us. Poor. Excuse me, we wealthy as shit, but we have a psychological disconnect. We don't understand that when we say we're wealthy, eventually that has to manifest. If it isn't manifesting, it's a lie. You see? Oh, and our being is gold. We're gods. We have chemical on the periodic table in our beings, but we don't know how to manifest it. We don't know how to make it tangible. I thought that was what alchemy was all about. Thank you, my friend. I thought alchemy was about taking the sciences and playing with them and transmuting that which comes to your thought form. People do it all the time. I was given the privilege of doing it. You know why I got the wealth? Nobody should be jealous. It's for everybody. In my soul, I wanted to unite the nation. Another thing in my soul I wanted to do was I wanted to care for the babies in my family. I was sick of them being sick. I'm sick of generations of children being sick. being fed GMOs, being brainwashed in the camps, being disconnected from Mother Nature, being disconnected from their family members. And I'm talking about adults too. Adults are sick, very sick. They don't know how to collectively get together without feeling emotional about what's going on that isn't going on with them. Their egos are so entrenched. Their spirits are so funny that when it comes to getting the work done as an organized body, they can't figure it. Did you know that's a chemical disconnect? Did you know that's a psychological disconnect? If you cannot come together as a body, something is wrong with your collective brain. You know families have those. Tribes have those. You know that, right? Tribes have collective brains. What? Literally, when one person thinks, like the matriarch or one of the respected tribal leaders, the whole entire body, it'd be like 100,000 tribal members. Yeah, we are infected, bro. It is impossible. It is impossible for somebody to be doing a clarion call concerning wealth and they just waking up like listen, I got children to feed. I'm trying to take care of my situation. I'm telling them it's taken care of. Just get here and I'll show you. We go to these meetings. What, you think you're gonna come in comfortable and commandeer a whole city? You think you're finna come in comfortable where it's all laid out for you and you ain't gotta spend a few days cutting through the already buried up layered fake trustees that's acting like fiduciaries over the estate? Come on, man. Y'all wanna come in like it's sweet. It is sweet, but you gotta fight. You know how many days I've been here doing this? Come on, bro. Oh, but it ain't yours. Well, at least you don't think so. But I thought we was blood. I know there's a percentage of King G. Sir Humphrey's blood in me. And whatever percentage it is valuable to me. So you know what that makes King G. Sir Humphreys to me? My blood and my kin and my family. And you know what I do for my blood and my kin and my family? My duty is to care for him. The hell you talking about? You know another thing that makes it my family? We think alike. Your thought patterns let you know that you were connected in previous lifetimes and you're supposed to do the work together. Every thought form that was connected to me from the first time we met until now, the ones that's supposed to be here are here. And the ones that's not is gone. Because they can't handle the vibrational frequency of the thought pattern, the thought form. So they have to go. Their energy has to go to where their thought form can be accepted or they can accept their thought form. We're comfortable in ours, united. We're comfortable. Me and King G and whoever else trustees is choosing to get with us, we comfortable in our thought form, united. I don't know what y'all talk about. Yeah. And the rest of these trustees that's with us. Here's what I'm gonna do, King G. I know tomorrow I'm getting ready to have this the source from the divine matriarchs. And what I'm gonna do for you is I'm going to make an effort to take the rest of that, a piece of that, and send it to you. Because I'm welcoming whoever want to come, and I'm making an effort to get whoever want to come. Let me think. The reason why it's easier here is because we're in a totally different jurisdiction, for real, under the Constitution of the state of Mexico. So we have plenipotentiary rights right now. We're like ambassadors or embassy movers or something, I don't know. But day one, y'all see me here. 2, 3, you see me comment, or you see me declare the city by way of the commissioner meeting. You see me go to the post office and start asking about let me as my rightful seat as postmaster, just like my great-great-great-grandfather was. You see, we're gonna preserve his lineage, and ain't nobody said nothing to me. Y'all don't think that's odd? that a man said he transferred all wealth into his trust and nobody said anything to him? Now we talk about trust. We talk about enforcing the law and putting documents in, right? Okay, listen. There we go. Yeah. Most def. And it's gonna come through. Bet that up. You and I gotta talk tomorrow about how much your ticket costs. Either by plane or by any other mode of transportation. We just gonna source it on out. There's one other console touching down right now. Listen, y'all are clearly on every social media Moorish book you can think of. You have all the information. You know about trusts. You know about estates. You know about documents that transfer it. You know about forms. You know about the golden goose egg. You know about everything. And if you don't, all you have to do is keep on watching these damn videos, and you're going to see everything that you need to concerning what the hell is really going on in your life. Okay? After you get an informed decision, listen, you know what they call it? It's called cognitive dissonance. Okay, there was a matriarch that just wrote this book a few years ago about how the slave masters had cognitive dissonance, right? So it was knowing the truth, but failure for your mind to command your body and your mind to stop doing whatever you're doing because you're desensitized from the truth. The truth was that slavery was wrong, beating the fuck out of people's wrong, beating them, working them to death was wrong. They worked they had the muscles were worked literally off of the bone. In Washington D.C., you can walk over the remains of our ancestral spirits, of our people. This ain't serious to y'all. Y'all don't care about honoring our spiritual fathers and mothers. If y'all did, y'all would do exactly what that UNDRIP said. Universal Declaration of... Hold on. UNDRIP. Universal National Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. It said, you can exhume the bodies. Boy. Hotep. I'm not trying to be whatever when I say that. I'm talking to spirits right now. I'm breaking spells in the land off the minds of the people. Share it on up. Most of these jokers sleep. They ain't trying to hear the truth. Listen, the reason why you got curses on yourself, the reason why there's curses on your family, is because the bodies, the remains, and the blood that saturated the soil that belonged to your genetic code is being disrespected daily by you because you don't acknowledge its existence. And my OG said, amen, he sleep right now. You want to hear me preach? I'll tell you the truth scientifically. He said amen because he heard me preach. I said to you, let me repeat it again. You say, oh, this man's snapping the fuck out. It's 100 people online. Y'all can share this shit up as much as you want to. They ain't never gonna get it like this because you need to hear it. When you walk around in the bodies, in the blood, in the soul, and the spirit of your ancestral beings are being trampled upon by the people who put them there. If you don't do something about it, then you know what happens? You're spiritually disrespecting them. And I would be putting the fucking gin on you too. I would be sending a whole bunch of trouble and trials for you to understand. You have to respect your spiritual bloodline and what they've done, what they've sacrificed. What the hell? We ain't got no moral code. The laws told us what we can do. We can bring our cultural history back. We can I'm not talking about no fucking marching. I'm talking about literally go reclaim monuments and Olmec statues and the things that we built. Reclaim them as a body. We have the wealth. We have the means. We have the tools. We have the resource, but we don't have the collective mind to just tangibly apply what we're doing. Now, they always say knowledge is power. Excuse you. Us, me. Knowledge is wisdom. The application of knowledge is power. You need an actual force of energy in order to state that you are exercising power. Power is dunamis, to explode. I will preach to you, and you will not hear me. You will not wake up and get your people together and show them the video and say, let's check into the information of this man saying that he has billions reserved for the nationals of the land. Some people will. One of the tribal members from the Anahuia tribe called me. He said he wanted to come meet with me. Yep. And I drop names because until people reconcile with me, we gonna have a problem. I say my brethren Khufu, he be stomping around. He said my name. He called me on my phone. He petitioned me to help him in law when he got out of prison. I'm gonna leave him alone. I love you, man, but you can't be disrespecting me like that for no reason. I never done anything to any of these people but try to help them. And they come out of whatever it is they're in, their shell, and be trippy. You would let me die out here? When now the first time they rolled, they came through. I appreciate y'all. When I called and the tribe banded together and came to the house and we hosted them, I appreciate that. Don't never think that I'm not grateful that we came together the first time to try. Okay, but if we're discouraged to the point where we can't make a second effort, then our fortitude is we need to work on the measure of our look. I do it till it's done. I do it till it's done. My back hurt. I be tired. My mind be tired. I be stressed. And then I just do all of my sciences as quick as I possibly can. Release that stress and keep pushing. Keep working. And then I watch my light workers with me. King G on the line. Go to work. Come home. Take care of his babies. Deal with his crazy girl. Come back. Go to work. Get on the line. Try to teach some folks. Come back. Run around. Come back. Read himself some stuff. Trying to teach himself something. Come back. Working. Managing. Trying to draw everyone together. Watching them. Light workers. And what are we doing? Oh, we ain't doing nothing. We don't care about the nation. We ain't about that life. Nope. How long are y'all gonna get it? Now, y'all really got 175 videos from me so far. Live videos on Facebook. 175. And you still sitting. What the boy, if that ain't enough charge to get your body activated, to actually dry bones. Ezekiel 37, dry bones. Y'all want to hear it? And I heard him saying to me, blow onto these bones, and sinew and flesh will come upon them, and they will raise up as an army. How long have I been blowing on the conscious mind of the indigenous community or the bloodline concerning the truth about who they are and what they need to do? How long have I been doing that? You tell me we ain't dead? You tell me we ain't dead when a vibrational frequency is hitting the drum and hitting the mind, and the truths of the vibrational frequency is activating the body. You really think we ain't dead? That's an indication that your conscious mind is dead when you don't respond to the truth. I'm coming out my heart right now about the sciences. Come on, baby. Just stay on here a little bit longer. You know, I know people ain't woke yet. They better get some coffee. Because I stay on this joker and I break down everything. And it still ain't going to move. But hey, you know, we gods. Woo! We Allah, man is thought. Man is Allah's thought. Allah's thought. If what we're displaying is Allah's thought. Wait, hold on. Y'all better think. If Allah thought, not if, Allah thought, is Allah thought separate? You want to make sense of your theological treatises? your understanding of the religious and the spiritual sciences that should be, that will how should I say this, break the spells on us. You want to know about the sciences? When a interconnected being thinks, the thought is not separate, right? And if man, no, I won't say man, I said not if, because man is thought of Allah, man is not separate. Yet when we look as a collective man, we are separate. Therefore, we're not thoughts of Allah. She is the divine matriarch. If her sons are separate, then that is not of her thought. Because we come from one umbilical cord, one womb, one Gaia, one nature, one spirit that declares by way of vibratory and light sounds that we have a purpose to do in the earth. So it vibrates so at the frequency of the desire of your mother and your father, when they come together to the point where it sparks the tangible seeds, life, the life force in it, and then bam, now you vibrating until you grown. And if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't vibrating. I want to get back to the spiritual respect of our ancestors. Now, that is not an option to you. Your responsibility to go and honor where your people were hung, who buried them. Your enemy buried your people. What the fuck? Boy, you better get justice. You better give your family members a proper burial. You mean to tell me after they flogged them and flayed them and filleted them and fed them to gators and chopped their body parts up and ran them out of town and set them on fire and put tar and feathers on them and hooked them up to horses and pulled them apart, and you don't want to hear the nitty-gritty truth because you don't want to respond to it, and raped your women and children, and corrupted your genetic bloodline by mixing their bloodline with your bloodline, and theft your whole entire land, and cheated your property, and falsified your documents, and lied to the whole world, and you still sitting there not getting justice? What the fuck is wrong with you, boy? Bet I gets mines. Bet I find every single soul that they ever touched of my bloodline. Bet I dig those bodies up. Yeah, you see how serious it is. Bet I dig them up. Bet I put them somewhere where I can take them and give them a proper burial and release their souls. Because their souls are captive to the consciousness of the last thing was done to them. You think I don't know about the sciences? They know about it. The energy of the souls of the beings that they captured when they did whatever they did is in their realm. The frequency, the vibratory nature of our spiritual ancestors is not in our realm. It's trapped in the realm of the consciousness that last did something to them. Is he making sense?
No, I can't breathe.
I know you can't breathe because I'm releasing these souls. Better keep on sharing. Better keep on sharing. Because when I release these souls from understanding what's going on with them, so here's what's happening. The reason why you can't sleep, the reason why you're sick, the reason why you can't figure it out, the reason why you're having the ups and downs emotionally, the reason why your shit's all imbalanced is because when you release, by way of your conscious mind, the vibratory frequency of every single spirit, soul, thing, body, realm, existence of your genetic code, then that energy you want to see it again? When you take the law and you take the truth and you adhere to the spiritual principles, the scattered energy, the energy that has been separated, disconnected by way of religious, by way of seances and different sciences, by way of a disconnection of astrological fuckery. They fucked around with your astrological clock, so they separated you in every way possible. They separated you in the earth realm. They separated you in the soulish realm. They separated you in the spiritual realm. They separated you in your chakra points, everything. In order to bring a balance, that means reconnect with your own energy. You must release the consciousness of them that they have over you. Your inability to act is their mental slavery over you. You don't get up and go command. You don't get up and go exercise real commands and power and authority in the earth. Why? Because you have no spiritual power. And we're convoluted if we think that we're gods and we're kings and we're heirs and we're all of this and we're not exercising spiritual power. Now, spiritual power manifested is physical power. That's why a man can labor with a people group that is disconnected mentally for an entire year, and he can suffer the throes of their thought patterns until they realize that they're separate and they choose to think together. How did I get the spiritual power to do that? I keep on telling the truth about our ancestral history and the ancestors. You know what I do? After I get that, bow, I come to you and I go, bow, and I hope you get the bow, so you can get up and you can walk to where you need to go to possess your land. Now, if it's not at this first stop, I ain't got no problem with it. If it's at another stop, I love you. I support you wherever the stop is at. You just got to get to me and get in contract. I do it again. You driving around. You walking around. The blood of your people saturates this earth. And instead of getting their remains up and doing like the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People say, taking their remains up and going into the county courthouses and commanding and demanding with your family members to give you your original documents of your historical facts. You don't go into the historical society and say, hey, those original documents with my people's name on them are mine. Give them to me. You send affidavits, hey, can I please have my stuff? Oh, well, you don't do that. you don't give us that. You know, we don't give you original documents. We just don't do that. Who the fuck are we? Who is we? You mean the 4 or 5 people in this building? Well, I got a fucking whole tribe out here, and we don't do that. So give me my shit. Do y'all know how to behave as a gang, as a mob, as a collective body that'll bust your ass if you say no? What? But we big and bad though. We got it all together. Yep. I love it. I love watching us run around on the hamster wheel and keep on asking each other what to do. Bust a motherfucking move. That's what you do. You take your science and you bust a move with it. Everything y'all taught me, I'm here because of what you taught me. Except I actually did what you taught me. And when y'all call me, I'm trying to get you to do what you taught me. That's why I'm sitting on my land right now and proclaimed heir. I'm proclaimed heir because that's what you taught me I am. Now, I'm trying to teach you that. You are that, but you have to be proclaimed heir with the other heirs of the world. You can't be proclaimed heir by yourself. Our parents didn't set it up that way. They wouldn't. They don't like that. They don't like that separate shit. They knew the science of how exponentially our spiritual, mental, and material power could increase if we pulled it together. You think about all the goods, you think about all the science, you think about all the electronics, you think about everything that we have as a collective nation. To bring it together, we'd rule the universe. We can't get 5 people together Look, I've been here for 7 straight days. I'm on every line that you can think of. I'm texting people that don't even text me back. I don't give a fuck. I've been doing that lately. I don't care. Hey, here's the information. Here's the address. If you want to come, it's a place called Broadmoor Park. It's a new development. You can live here. You can have homes, and you can sit at the commissioner's meeting with me, and you can do this, and you can do that. And everybody like, huh? Well, okay. Even if this space is not for you, even though it's warm, like Uncle like it. I know you like that good warm climate, Uncle. If it's not for you, then come here, meet with us, get in trust, let the commissioner see you, so we can get the damn money transferred into the wealth of the nation. Oh, this is the tribal government. He just said that he conveyed the wealth of the city into his trust. In order to do that, he needs trustees on his trust document, and they're the people who are going to manage the wealth. But with the 7 commissioners that I stood by myself before, I'm not going to stand before them again without no tribal members. I need 7 people there. To match the 7 commissioners, you need to behave like the body that's behaving with you. They got military generals, you got military generals. They got chairman, you got chairman. They got boards, you got boards. They got leather chairs that they sit in that are fucking comfortable in a panel. You got leather chairs that you sit in that are comfortable in a panel. They got rooms and places where they meet at certain times. You got rooms and places that you meet at certain times. Or if you're not meeting in your own places at certain times, then you're meeting at their places at certain times. What are we talking about? This is difficult for us to understand how to operate as a collective unit? Huh? I'll be on here forever until we get the point. For real. I hope y'all packing y'all bags. Because there are tribal members coming to meet me. They heard me. The ones that's about that business. I told them I need bodies. And I mean that. I know there's muftis out there. I know there's people with skills. I know there are people with hard skills that can get the job done. They're coming because they know I'm serious. And the new people that I'm gathering up here, if y'all don't hurry up and get here, they're going to get the gold. Y'all going to miss out. I'll give it to whoever comes. I do not care. Because we deserve it. We deserve it as a nation. Look. If you don't give yourself something, you done. What else? Let me tell y'all what's been happening out here. These corporations, I call them up. I show them my airship. I show them the rights. I show them nobody rebutted my claim to airship. I show them the documents that haven't been rebutted that I emailed to the president and to the Secretary of State of Mexico. I got prime jurisdiction over here, buddy. That's why ain't nobody said nothing. You ain't read the Hobbs Act? Listen, I know you got another computer or consort, and I know that you're sitting there right now. Go ahead and type in the Hobbs Act. Go ahead and put it on the link. King G, if you still there, put the Hobbs Act on the link for me. And let me go ahead and rock with y'all. I'm going to get on here with y'all and show y'all how y'all federally, commercially protected. Everybody wants security. Well, I can't secure you. You have to trust in your own instinct concerning your security. But I can show you every proof in the world to show you how you're as secure as you're ever going to be if you make this decision. I can show you every law, every truth, every factual document. I can show you how in law, since they didn't rebut my claim, I am the heir. They have to say, hey, buddy, your point for point affidavit of heirship, here's where you erred and you're not the heir. I accused them. I said, you theft my property. Give it back to me. And they didn't say, hey, your accusations are false. So they told me I was telling the truth. And now they're telling me I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you that I'm telling you the truth. You the only one that's not telling me I'm telling you the truth. Why? Because you're not here getting this work. I've been calling people for a month. Come on, so-and-so. Come on, blah, blah, blah. Get here, drive here. But I've been moving around. Well, now, you see, I'm not moving around no more. I'm stationed. I'm stationed in the Hobbs Hobbs, New Mexico. Hobbs, New Mexico. I'm not going nowhere with oil generating out the ground naturally. I'm not going nowhere with natural resources at my disposal. I'm not going anywhere with most of the people, the common folk, knowing that I'm heir. The one lady said I wouldn't tell nobody. I said, I'm telling everybody. She said I wouldn't tell a single soul. I said, I gotta tell them because I need help. And now I'm getting help from the common folk. The ones I just walk around with and get all excited like I be on here, and I show them all the proofs, and they down to go. I make a business deal with them, and they trustees of the estate. Easy. You know how many business deals I made tonight? 4. They was all IHOP diner employees. They were young. I'm glad their minds are receptive to what I'm talking about. Because when we're talking about airship, we're talking about business as well and commercial activity. Everybody get a piece of the pie to be able to maturate. Maturate, grow your estate. That's what they did to you when you were born. They put a bond on it of lawful $1 million to $5 million, and they've been growing it since you've been born, and however long there's been birth certificates in existence. So we covered pretty much everything on here this morning. We covered how we're spiritually disrespecting our ancestors by allowing their remains to stay in the ground, and we're walking on them. We covered how if we release their consciousness by going ahead and doing what the UNDRIP said and going to get our people and giving them proper burials and start commanding that our records be brought back to us, that we would break the spiritual mode and draw, or when you're talking more science, draw that power back into your being so that when you operate, they feel the actual vibrational frequency of your entire bloodline in your being. Right now, your entire bloodline percentages of is not in your DNA. Why? Because you ain't released those consciousnesses yet. You ain't released those consciousnesses yet because you're not honoring the law. The balance of my yacht, she's balancing against all 42 principles. Her feather is, boy, you know. And if there's one iota off for her, swift justice. That's why we go through what we go through. We get rejected. People saying yes to me now. I'm telling you, I'm telling so much truth, and I'm standing in so much truth and so much adversity for so long. My ancestral spirits on 10s when the jinn come to fuck with me. I'm looking at these people when they walk towards me, they look like they're being taken over by my ancestrals. They're like this. Their whole conscious will is like this. He come up to me. He getting ready to kick me out the little diner. He say, I said, I know, bruh. I said, it's not you. I said, you work for that corporate, that corpse. I put the spell on him. You work for that corpse, that dead thing. Yep. He was like, yeah. He's like, and if you don't leave, man, I got to call the police. He said, I don't want to do that to you. So this was all my ancestral spirits fucking his whole brain up while he was trying to enforce some fuck ass law on me. Excuse my language. I served him with copies of my airship papers. He said, I'll definitely give these to your manager. He said, I definitely will, sir. And he said, he even offered to drive me to my next spot. Come on, bro. I'm trying to show y'all how it works. I'm trying to show y'all how it works because y'all show me how it works. Where we at? Y'all got me excited now because as it flows through me and I try to make it make sense for everybody, and they make the decision to, I've had people, I ain't finna uproot myself. I don't know if this is for sure. Well, we keep on showing you every day online. It's for sure that we have it. I'll never show you the gold until you come here. I'll never show you where the oil fields are, where you can dig your hands and actually like wash your hands with the oil until you come here. I'm not gonna do it because it shouldn't take me doing that. It should take me loving you enough by walking with you long enough to get you to positively perform in your mind. And then you would go through the same shit I went through to get here and suffering, which you've already been going through. So I hope you would value what's going on. That's why I force everybody to come instead of sending for everybody. Even if I had the wealth to do so, I probably wouldn't if it was transferred already, because they don't value it if they don't work. They have to go through the motions in order for it to be valuable. Sit down at the table with me. Try me. What do you have to lose but nothing to gain? Covered the sciences, said we was going to honor our spirit and our family members who have been slain on this soil by going to get their bodies. After that, after I go get my people's bodies, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to go into every county that has my name on it, and I will retrieve all of my original documents. Y'all want to know what to do? Like, literally? I'm telling you, if you don't do it, then your ego is operating and you're doing what you want, and whatever you want is going to work for you the way it works. I know what to do because I sit and just, I beg and I plead for the truth until it's given to me. I mean, for my own life though. And maybe that translates to yours too. But I'm not spinning my wheels trying to fight a battle that's not mine. My battle is this. Where is me at? You say Islam, you say I self-lost, master, you say know thyself. Well, how can you know yourself if you don't even have the verifiable documentation to back up what you know about you? You know it in spirit, you know it in truth, you know it in subconscious, you know it in genetic DNA, but it is documented somewhere. And that should be in your hand. It's called your scroll or your family scribe or history. And since we didn't, since it was beaten out of us to value our own history, to be able to record it, somebody else had to. They recorded our history because not only do her story give energy to the realm of the worlds, but are also genetic code and everything about us because of what we're created out of. And we're created out of something, and then some of those species are created out of us, and now those species are psychologically against us because it's in a genetic code for one recessive gene or genetic code to try to become the dominant gene when it knew when its source is dominant. We're the dominant gene. Everybody knows that genetically. Some of those species came from us. Other people group species came from us. Those subconscious those species, the genetic code, their thought form that comes from the information from their DNA. It is diametrically, it is scientifically, they're designed to try to become the dominant gene again. Everything is. Instead of becoming the oneness. So that's what you're dealing with every day. Every day you're dealing with the genetic realities of how things work in science concerning the food chain, if you will. What else? I give y'all the post office where I docked my self-deport. I give you addresses. I show you land developments. I show you budget reports. I put my life on the line every day because everybody says that this is Fed book. So they know what I'm doing. They know where I'm at. They've been knowing that on Fed book for 7 days. And if I'm spitting, where you at, King G? You brought that up? You brought that up? It's Fed book, right? I just claimed a city. An heir to a city, right? It's Fed book though. It's Fed book, right? And I just told everyone that I deal with that the net worth of this being is 27 billion, right? So if this is Fed book and I'm making those claims, and then it's Fed book and I'm in a commissioners meeting of the city with these commissioners, 7 of them, and I've claimed heirship. If this is Fed book, then how come that didn't ping and somebody ain't come get me if I wasn't telling the truth? Why am I still talking to y'all? Huh? Oh, this must not be Central Intelligence Agency after all. And if it is, if this Fed book is Central Intelligence Agency, then they heard me when I said I was heir in front of the 7 commissioners, which is part of the corporation. And they say that the Central Intelligence Agency is an arm of the corporation. So if one corporation heard me, notice the agent is notice the principal. And another corporation heard me, and what? Oh, something's gonna happen to him. What? Y'all scared? Not me. Y'all more scared for me than I am. Because I'd rather die. I would rather die. I'm dying anyway unless I do something. My children are dying if I don't do something. I ain't talking about do something like make some fiat. I'm talking about bust a damn move. Get a piece of the pie. Get a land, baby. Get some real something. Shit. Yeah, come on with it. We all sitting here like, oh, it's good where we're at. We're just going to make it. We're just going to do it. It's going to work out. It's all good. Listen, if you're going to let that concept in your mind and you're going to let your comfort... Listen, there's a scripture that says the complacency of fools will destroy them. Did I say you were a fool? I love all of you. Did I say you were a fool? I said, there's a scripture that just come out my belly that I used to read. It said the complacency of fools will destroy them. Do you know what complacency means? It means being comfortable where you're at. You should never be comfortable. You should always be moving. You should always be growing. You should always be expanding. If you look at science, that's what things are doing. It goes like this. The whole entire cosmos goes... And then so much energy comes, right, in this supernova, and it goes, and then it absorbs the energy and expands and expands, and it goes, and it sucks itself in, and it goes, and then all of these little molecules go, right, and then those baby molecules go, and then again, but we don't do that. We just sit there. It's good. We got it. Well, I'm telling you, there's an energy of force that's speaking to you right now that has the ability to help our nation go. I will send bodies all over the world. And they saying, what you doing? King G, if you still on here, I need you to go ahead and get some things up for me, right? Or Francesca Ali, or I'm going to give it to Mikael Bay, or Will L. I appreciate you on this thing, Plant-Based King. When you say wealth, you come here, you got ideals or gifts, they immediately get funded. Funded where? Across the globe. How? Postmaster. Free mail. Once I commandeer it. So I can send overnight express permanently for 8 hours a day if I want to. When I'm sitting as postmaster, once I have enough people with me, so when they bring their people, they say the air is not going to be touched and I can't be captured, then I can sit for 8 to 12 hours a day and overnight express anyone's creation around the world. Now their family is in trust and in commercial activity with the world. How does it work? I'm trying to show you. What are your gifts for? Are your gifts for booking, for fiat, for a little bit here or a little bit there, or something more? Come on, baby. I know what happened, love. I understand. It was disheartening, okay? And there's a time for healing. But if you don't move, a matter of fact, if you move, you'll heal a lot quicker. Utilize your gifts again. Do not let what happened to you, and you know who I'm talking about, do not let it stop you from being who you are. Because who you are is exactly what the world needs. Both fronts. They need that administrative genius. That's who the world is waiting on. That's what they do. They stomp on your gifts, and then you're psychologically afraid to use them. That's what they did to me. And for 20 years, I was not operating out of my healing gift. I was not operating out of my prophetic gift. I was not operating out of my the gift of influence. For almost 20 years, they stomped on that. Every time I got in positions of power, every time I started getting groups of people to listen to me, a group of people would come and mess with me, do me bogus. The jinn, other family members, whatever, the corporate body, whatever. So for years, I shut down. Get back up, try to build again. No family members. Had to shut down because it's not a collective energy to keep me healed and going. So I have to shut down till I preserve my energy with enough energy to be able to launch out in the world again. But now I got enough people, and that's what's been keeping me going. Y'all thought forms is on me. Y'all thought patterns of good nature are on me. So those are being communicated to my being and strengthening me. the ones that's for me. And I know there's more for me than against me. I've seen that. Most of the ones that are against me have went silent now. And that's because if this hasn't showed them that I'm for them, then nothing will. And there's a scripture that says, and this is what I've been doing. It says, give your enemy a glass of cold water, and you will heap coals upon fiery coals upon their head. That scripture means that if you keep doing good to people who do bad to you, eventually they'll start feeling guilty, and they'll have to change their behavior or leave you alone, because the guilt consumes them so much that they can't sleep at night. And I will make thy enemies your footstool. Don't I put my foot on them? I don't. And this is why I'm blessed as well. Even though it was told to me that something would make my enemies my footstool, I know that that's where they're at right now, but I choose not to put my foot on them. I choose to bring them where I am. And I risk knowing who they are. Who they are is the ones who don't have my well-being at heart and would probably stab me and take the wealth for themselves. But the more good I do to them, when I bring them up to where I'm at and try to put some protection around me, what I'm saying is, hopefully what I'm displaying to them will transform their being so that they're for us and for themselves and not against us. Because when they try to kill me, they're trying to kill themselves, because I'm a reflection of them. I'm just not the one that they think they want to see. So it's confusion to them. You fear what you don't know. People are afraid of a being that moves like this. And some are quick though. The matriarch called me today. I broke it down to her in 15 minutes. She said, tomorrow I'll have the MoneyGram to you. You ready? I'm going to send that back to you, Akil, because I do believe it's going to be enough to keep us secure now. There's a few things we getting on here. You going to put this on here for me, Akil, if you got a few seconds. HOBBS, Hobbs Act. Do it on like a real website. You could Wikipedia Hobbs Act, but you could do it. There's a government site that does it, and on the government site it says shut down. But put some of these links up so they know where to go in order to get the juice, if you would, Akil. That's www.hobbsnm.org. That's the website. Come on with it. There is a specific website for the act that I tell you will I want you to put the whole act up there, Kill, so that I can read it to the people for their morning. Yep. Now I'm gonna you cut, copy, and paste it for me so I could break it on down to everyone that's sitting up here. You share it on up. You're woke in the mornings. I'm glad we early birding today. We early birding getting a worm today then. The 5 that's on here with me, I'm thanking y'all for waking on up. Obviously, our energies touch one another. And we were supposed to be together on this line for a little short time to know what we needed to know. Y'all staying with me on the line, that means y'all hearing the truths and it's sticking with your hearts. And maybe when we get done, you'll make the decision to pack up and get to us. Akil, you already know I'm going to send for you in the next few days, in the next week. How am I sending for people now? When you have wealth, your word is the force that does the job now. So by authority of someone who has wealth, I can command airlines to give tickets to my consuls. You see? By authority, by airship principles, I can command any corporation to give any one of my indigenous people anything that I want them to have or that they want to have. You see? Yep. Now do me one better, Akil. The actual text itself, I need you to put on here, because I'm gonna get to work this morning. For anybody that wants to, they wide-eyed and bushy-tailed right now. I'm going to work then. I got my lemon water right here, and it's warm, and everybody on here is gonna get this work so that they can make an informed decision. We're gonna train the people on how to do what needs to be done so we can all be organized this morning. That's what we're gonna do. Everybody trying to figure out how to get organized. You organize yourself as a people. Then you organize your resources. Then you organize your family according to the mature ones and the immature ones. The mature ones are active in the earth. The immature ones are talking about being active but not active. They're talking about the ones being active. Major. Major. Look it up. Major. Look it up. Major means adult in law. Minor means child in law. In a law dictionary, minor means child, major means adult. If you break down the etymology of them words, you will be very, very happy to know what those things mean. I think you will kill. Everybody can go read it for themselves. Once you get the actual wording up for me, then I can go ahead and break it on down to them why this federal act gives us absolute power in law, and that we don't have to be waiting for these processes anymore, and that if y'all want me to start actually issuing orders out of this court in order to remedy any situation that you have, I can do so. We can do so. They're serious. Yes, come on with it, baby. I'm tired of shit. I've been doing this for 7 days straight. From actually a lot longer. But this particular mission, I think since the 6th or the 7th, and now it's the 17th. Calling, emailing, begging, texting, everybody going through something. Go through it while you're on your way to the wealth, whatever it is you're going through. Go through it while you're on the way. While you're on your way, elements of the offense. Yep. In order to sustain its burden of proof for the crime of interfering with interstate commerce by robbery or extortion. Now, didn't somebody theft my corporation? Didn't somebody extort money out of my corporation? Didn't they do that? Oh, really? As of charge in count number 1 of the indictment, the government must prove the following. 3. Essential elements beyond reasonable doubt. First, that defendant took from the victim alleged in the indictment the property described in count 1. Hey, I said this incorporated land that my lineage built and founded and did postmaster work on is mine by way of the birth certificate that was given to me at birth. I just told them that. Now, the government, which I am, must prove that, and they must prove that they didn't do it. You see, my tribal government, when I look at the law, I look at it as if I am the law, not them. You see, my government proved it, just proved that my bank bond is the same as the incorporated city, is the same as everything else, and then the budget sum has my last name on it, the budget summary, and on the bottom of the budget summary, it say 27 billion, it got transferred in a trust. I just told them that, okay? I just talk about the wealth because that's most of the time that's the only thing an ear hears. But really, I'm talking to you about natural resource. I'm trying to get you to understand that your fruits, your vegetables, your seed, your ground, your place to actually tangibly build and responsibly, respectfully interface with the world in foreign commerce or in international treaties. And now you're creating things that you can sell to the world. When they come in, they're not commercially setting up shop and selling things to you. You have shops that you're selling stuff to them now. So now they're actually taking the energy and wealth of their nations and pouring it into your tribe, your nation. Listen to how massive this can be if you get it together and you really band together as a tribe. The nations of the earth will come and pour their source into your nation, your being, your tribal government. Second, that did so knowingly and willfully by robbery or extortion. They knew what they were doing. They knew that it was the bank bond. They knew that they knew the science of the math. That if they gave you $1 million or $5 million based on the projected work ethic of your bloodline, that it would maturate on the stock market because you would sign your name so many times. They knew scientifically, as they did experiments on our people, social experiments, and they documented it. Scientists documented it that there are certain families that work harder than others and that would sign their names more than others. So so they gave the bank bonds more profitability or investment. They're investors. They're bankers. They're bank robbers. They're master bank robbers. You're the bank. Now look up, as well as you're putting this up, Akil, and I appreciate you, Consul. Also look up the World Bank. Europe clearly states the World Bank is the families of people who stole wealth and now give it to the world at an interest rate too high for them to pay back. They say, we've been issuing debt. That as a result, actions, interstate commerce, item moving in interstate commerce was obstructed, delayed, or affected. Oh, really? Provides whoever in any way degree, obstruct, delay, any way or degree obstructs, delays, or affects commerce, or the movement of any article or commodity in commerce. Isn't the bank bond an article? Isn't it a commodity? Ain't the person, if they're worth something, a commodity? Right? Look at what com means together. Look at what merch or merce means and see what you come up with. Com, together, merch, merchandise. The bringing together of the merchandise. Oh, or extortion, or attempts, or conspiracy. What is a conspiracy? When a group of people get together and decide to plot on you. And they plot on you, and then after they plot on you, they execute the plan on you. That is what a conspiracy is, to conspire. Yeah, so to do. Or commits or threatens physical violence. Aren't they doing that to you when they're evicting you off of your property, threatening to come physically and remove you from your property? To any person or property in furtherance of a plan or purpose to do anything in violation of this section shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. If the defendant is charged, now listen up, matriarch, isn't that what that person did to you? Didn't they threaten to do physical violence? Didn't they conspire against you? Aren't they holding your property and your commerce right now? Your sweat equity? Listen, don't be an unwise mother. You need to get justice. You're doing yourself and your babies a dishonor if you just sit there and let them do what they've done and not get justice. Not me. You know I have the power to do that, and I fight for it every day. You get justice. Learn these laws and fuck them up. Go in on them. Matriarch. You sitting up there, I understand your mind is okay. I understand that it's cool, but it's not cool for them not to have justice and to sleep every night and be cool. They should be uncomfortable in their mind. Oh my God, they should be uncomfortable in their soul. They children, they atmosphere, they land, they everything. They should be uncomfortable. They should be very, very uncomfortable. Seriously. You can't be the heir of your land if they're not. If the defendant is charged with attempt, the court should adapt this instruction and should also give instruction 7.01, attempt. Likewise, if the defendant is charged with conspiracy, I'm talking about the service corporation. They're the defendant right now. I'm charging them with conspiracy to violate this statute. The appropriate instruction on conspiracy should be given. See instruction 6.18. He's putting all of these points up here too. He's putting 6.18.37. We're going to go through all of this, and then when we're done, you're going to see how federally I have the power to go take myself and arrest people. Are you afraid to do that? Men, are you afraid to take zip ties or your arms or whatever you need to do, your bodies, your legs, your minds, your souls, your spirits, your bodies, and walk up to another human being and arrest them for committing a crime against you? Oh my God, you can't do what the world does to you back to them? You consciously dead then. If you can't respond according to the reflection of how the world is doing to you. The obtaining of property from another with his consent under color of official right. Color of official right? I thought so. Keep reading it. Keep reading it and you'll see the truth in the law. You share it on up so all our people can get this work. but you're not going to be able to enforce it without your tribe. You're going to go, you're going to print it out, you're going to think that it's meant to be enforced by an individual when it's meant to be enforced by an actual body group of people. The indigenous people of Hobbs, New Mexico, against the United States of America. Fuck. How is this so hard? How is it so hard for an entire collective body to go against another body? We the people against we the America, or the corpse, the living being against the corpse. Ooh, let me get this work, baby. Ooh. Driggs, the court noted the essential elements. Got that by extortion, color of official right. They said that they had official right to do this, and that the defendant acted knowingly and willingly. They're not going to say they're guilty. They're not going to say it. That's why they're going to give me the wealth, because they rather give me the wealth than admit that they're guilty. If they admit that they're guilty, then they'll go to prison, and they know that. So they have a choice to make. It's either admit we're guilty and go to prison, or give this man his wealth and he won't imprison us. This is true. I will cordially work with them. Hobbs Act, robbery defined. Robbery is the unlawful taking of or obtaining of personal property from the person or in the presence of another, against his or her will, by means of actual or threatened force, or violence, or fear of injury, whether immediately or in the future, to his or her person or property in his or her custody or possession, or the property or property of a relative or member of his or her family, or of anyone in his or her company at the time or of the taking or obtaining. Comment, O'Malley et al. Supra. Now, according to this particular document, my mother was in the company of the service corporation when they made her an informant, and she listed me as a stock or chattel by way of saying I was under corporate jurisdiction, yes, and by way of saying I was black, which means dead in the eyes of the law. So, the service corporation, who instituted the practice of taking human beings and making them economic debt slaves or economic capital, they tricked my mother by way of fraud, and there's no statute of limitations on fraud. What law am I not giving you that will not make you move to this location so that I can get some paperwork done for you and enforce it for you? I don't have a problem with giving you what you think your estate is, where your people are. I help you find that. You can go have that, whatever you want, but first come get in trust so that we can deliver it to you. That's what they did to my mother, as used in this section. Oh, we got that. What's up, Sadat? Extortion. What is that? What is extortion? Oh, I'm gonna go through it again. Extortion by force, violence, or fear. Extortion is the obtaining of another's property or money with his or her consent, when this consent is induced or brought about through the use of actual or threatened force, violence, or fear. In order for name to have obtained the property of another, there must have been a transfer of possession or legal interest in that property from that other person to name or a designee of that name. Did I say you can have my shit, bitch? Look, hey, it's coming out of me right now. I'm tired. I'm all professional with y'all. You ain't never heard me curse in your life. It was like I did 150 videos, so I started cursing in front of y'all. I'm sorry. Listen, you're right. That individualism, let's just show you how it works. So collectively, all of our bank bonds together make $10 billion. Matter of fact, it's 6 people on here. I guarantee you, 6 people, and we have a net worth as a tribe of at least $3 billion. And that's the low end. I can show you how to source the net worth of your bank bond. Now, when we go to the service corporation, because everybody says to me, I've never seen it done before. Duh. The reason why you've never seen it done is because no established government is going to give one single person talking about it's their shit $500 million. Because they don't know what the hell that person's going to do with the wealth. but you have an actual governmental body who's exercising maturity and law, and they have presented that they're able to do well in commerce, then you see their contribution to the world and you don't deal with them. This is why I claimed airship almost 7 days straight, and I've emailed everybody and they mama, and ain't nobody touched me, because they know if this man did get the wealth, he would do right with it. What? Fund us? What? Work with us? What? Treat with us? What? We know we can't do nothing to him by law. So now we going to sit at the table with him. You think I'm not finna have some agents come meet with me when some of my tribal members get here? Federal. We are going to sit, and I'm going to let them federally know I have wealth to be able to extend to them. And if they want to treat, they could be federal with it, because that's what my people put into play. Jury instructions, criminal matters, supra, term extortion. Got that? If the defendant is charged with extortion under color of official right, the court should give instruction 6.18.1951. Yeah. Deprivation of property, acquisition of property, extortion, provision. Oh, what else did this say? Oh, we were talking about how they extorted by fraud or induced. Been to transfer. My mother did transfer it by deceit, though, so they knew it was fraud. What's this say? The bracketed language should be included if there is a question concerning whether the defendant acquired property rather than simply depriving the victim of property. They did both. Guilty. They're guilty of both. On the public record right now, 5:01 a.m. They're guilty of both. Deprivation and acquisition without my permission or my consent. And I'm stating that at 5:01 p.m. at 1/17/2019, Chronos 1439 MC. I am charging them guilty. Now, when I say them, I'm talking about whomever is responsible. You know who you are. So, they don't call me or come to me and say, hey, you was a liar, we didn't do this. Then they say, hey, the man's telling the truth. We own up to what we did. Let's leave him alone while he's operating. Okay, he's not harming anybody. He just wants what's his, just like everybody else does. Oh, well, guess what? I got it, baby. I appreciate you. Now can I enjoy it? The court stated, we have construed the extortion provision of the Hobbs Act at issue in cases to require not only the deprivation but also the acquisition. Unlawful taken by force. Defined fear exists if a victim experiences anxiety. Oh, here we go. Come on. Fear of injury. Defined. Oh, come on, baby. Come on. Let's get it. Yeah. That's what our people is. Our people is fearful. Our people been fearful. They're psychologically so fearful that they can't even move. They say, well, what do we need? We need ID. We need this. We need that. You need your face. You need your face in a tribe. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. All of us ain't going nowhere. We don't need no ID. Failure to identify is not an arrestable offense. We don't need no ID. You don't know the law. You ain't standing on the Constitution. What you saying? What you saying? What you doing? What you gonna do? And you looking around with all your tribal members in that airport, waiting on somebody who has the wealth to command them to issue tickets so that you can get here. Say if you didn't get to the airport, I wouldn't call that airport and tell them that it's their responsibility to issue a ticket for you to get here. You know it ain't gonna work. The government shut down right now. Every plane, everybody can't even fly places. That's why I'm telling y'all to get here. Fear of injury. Defined fear exists if a victim experiences anxiety, concern, or worry. Ain't that what my TTs be experiencing? Concern or worry over expected personal, physical, or economic harm. The fear must be reasonable under the circumstances existing at the time of the defendant's actions. Your decision whether used or threatened fear of injury involved a decision about the alleged victim's state of mind at the time of the named actions. It is obviously impossible to prove directly a person's subjective feeling. So I'm breaking down in real time what you're looking at. So I go into there. I have one bag. They see where I'm at in life. They know where I'm at. I've left messages. I've told them how pressing a matter this is. So they know that mentally and subjectively feeling and the actions, you cannot look into a person's mind to see what his or her state was. But a careful consideration of the circumstances and evidence should enable you to decide whether the victim was in fear and whether this fear was reasonable. Damn. Y'all ain't seen on here, if I get captured, if this happens, I don't know what's going to happen. I ain't got no people with me until I'm sure that this is the divine work in my soul, and now I'm in perfect peace and I don't care what happens no more. Now I don't need y'all. I just need perfect peace. I really want y'all because I'm tired of y'all going through what y'all go through. But hey, if you want to live like that, I don't know what to do. I just beg y'all to live different. Live better. You get up every day. You drive. You fight these people for homes. You listen to these teachers. And there's no real work being done. There's no tangible building being done. There's no seeds that's being planted. There's no real healing. We're just, we got the science, but we're not putting it in the petri dish and looking at it and merging the molecules and watching the vibrations and looking. We're just absorbing information because it feels good. It helps heal our minds. But there's a time where after you get healed enough, you got to heal the earth that's healing you. You got to heal the ancestral spirits that's giving you the information so you can apply it. Go get their bodies out of the ground. Go to the county and stand there until the dumbass person with the dumbass look on their face give you your property, which is the her story of your entire lineage. But a careful consideration of the circumstances and evidence should enable you to decide whether the victim was in fear, whether this fear was reasonable. Looking at the overall circumstance and the actions of the person in question may help you determine his state of mind was. You can consider this kind of evidence, which is called circumstantial evidence, in deciding whether obtaining property through the use of threat or fear. You also have heard the testimony of the alleged victim describing his or her state of mind. That is how he or she felt about giving up the property. This testimony was allowed to help you decide whether the property was obtained by fear. You consider this testimony for that purpose only. You may also consider the relationship and in deciding whether the element of fear exists. However, even a friendly relationship between the parties does not preclude you from finding that fear. Come on, baby. Come on. From finding that fear. Excuse me. Just getting started, baby. Just getting started this morning, baby. We can stay on here with y'all as long as y'all want till we get some commitments going. Y'all know what the address is. Y'all know what the address is to get here. Y'all know what the email address to the postmaster is. Listen to what I just said. I live posted the government email address of what appears to be a government employee. Now, if the service corporation was really about that work, or they cared about that particular government employee, which the government is shut down right now, you think that somebody would have been knocking? I said to the postmaster, I said, by blood, this man's name is James Hobbs. He sat in these post offices. I said to him, I'm looking for an office in this building to preserve my grandfather's lineage and legacy. I said, by law, you have to give me that office. He said, if you don't have a federal badge, you're not getting in. I had one of the locals standing with me as security. I asked him to come along. He banged with me, right? So when he said that, I said to him, if you do not let me in, you're going to be arrested, and everyone in here. And he chuckled at me. And I told him again, I do not want to arrest the people in this building. Now, I'm not going to do anything to him, but sit him there. But the service corporation, the Fedbook Central Intelligence Agency heard me say that and is hearing me say it again. And nobody's knocked on my door. Is that because I'm the feds? No, it's because I'm enforcing law, baby. And the law respects the law. This man is well in his rights to operate the way that they do. And more so. They arrest people under color of law. I'm arresting them under de jure law. Which one is to be more respected? And now that the whole world knows what's going on, they know if they try to touch me, the whole world, the Facebook community, everyone that I done put on notice, and all the locals and everybody gonna come for that ass. So what you trying to do? Or you'll let me get captured and die and not do nothing. I mean, kind of, I worry because you kind of ain't moving fast now. So what's gonna make you do something when I die? If they do try to bust a move on my ass. What you mean? You ain't here now. What made you think you're going to be there then? But you are. I know in spirit. And I know that you want to be here. And I know that it takes a lot for a person to actually know in their heart that what another being is telling them is true. I'm telling you that there is wealth here, and that if you get to it, you can be a part of it. If you do not, then you don't have to be, and you can enjoy being wherever you're at, doing whatever you're doing. Cool. I'm not judging you for that, but I'm saying if there is a better life, then why not take it? And if you can go back to where you originally come from later on, why not go ahead and do that just for a little bit? Stating that conviction requires only de minimis effect on commerce. Now check this out. The State versus Haywood means this. The conviction requires only de minimis effect on commerce. Affirming conviction where robbery targeted store with inventory, purchased in interstate commerce, and store closed for part of day as a result of robbery. Non-precedential, concluding that evidence defendant robbed business that purchased goods in interstate commerce and had customers who traveled in interstate commerce. Sufficient. My people going and spending money with the service corporations sounds like something like that. Them trading my name on the stock, my corporate name on the stock market sounds something like that. In Powell, the Third Circuit held that evidence that the defendants targeted store owners seeking to steal the store's earnings and assets provided sufficient evidence effect on interstate commerce. So whatever they was doing, whether good or bad, it affected the commercial activity of my corporation. Now, I have emails that I sent when I first woke up to the board of directors that was holding that was managing my wealth. What do you mean? You sent emails to them? I paid a bill with my social security number, right? And it kicked back like 3 days later, but it worked. I had my internet on. I was cool. 400, bang. Did the little thing, gave them my account numbers, found it all out, bang, got it. Oh, I was bad, boy. I paid that bill with that, boy. I paid that bill with that social, boy. I was bad, boy. Look, I say, who the hell kicked this bill back? The heir just exercised plenty powers over his estate. Who kicked this bill back? So I looked, I found them. It's the board of directors that said, no, we didn't authorize this. Why? Because I hadn't yet claimed the actual account. So they had the right to do that. Oh, okay. Well, you kicked it back. I got emails from months ago where I emailed them. I said, hey, don't kick my accounts back when I pay something with my bills. I tried to do it with my $53,000 in school loans too, but that thing had a beep on it. Something happened. They said, we'll let a little money go through. We'll let a little money go through, but $55,000 from the federal John D. Rockefeller school. Oh shit, no boy, you have to work a little harder to get that wiped off. Seeking to steal the store's earnings and assets. Even though the defendants robbed the individual store owners rather than the businesses. I'm an individual store owner. What is my store? My store is my stock, my corporation, my bloodline, all the people in it, all the bank bonds that exist, all the information, all the intellectual information, all the proprietary information, all the genetic DNA. Everything that belongs to me is mine. They have your DNA. They have your genetic code. They have your family's history. They have everything. It's all mine. So why am I allowing someone possession of mine? And I'm rolling around, I'm trying to put in paperwork so I can get some land somewhere, when there's actual documents with my name on it. There's actual genetic, there's paperwork of genetic code with me. Give me my shit, Mr. Scientist, who took my blood and did that research and printed all those things out and wrote all this shit about me. When I was growing up, I was in the system. They tried to program me. I went to 45 placements in 15 years. I refused to let them program me. I never subjected and submitted to the actual program itself. I always fought. I always ran away. I always rejected the medication. I always rejected the system in which they try to control me in. But they was always writing stuff about me. This person's this person's that, this person's this. They have a log of your entire life. And I'm commanding. I command every judge, every corporation, every hand that ever wrote anything about me, every county that ever restored anything about me. I'm at their ass. I'm at their throat. Give me mine. That's me. That's Islam. That is know thyself. It ain't you going around trying to take paperwork and take these laws and take over pieces and portions of land that ain't really got shit to do with your actual self. It does in the fact that your people group owned it, but you personally, your genetic code personally did something and owned something that ain't got nothing to do with what you're trying to get right now. And every time you step on the spiritual lines of what you're not supposed to possess, the spirits come at you and they say that ain't for you, that ain't for you, that ain't for you. That's why I could walk around this land saying I'm here and ain't not one person challenge me. Because it got my corporate name on it. It got my family history on it. And you do too. So start researching your family history. I mean, really digging in. And then you'll find the actual land masses of where they were. You'll find the documents of what they did and who they talked to. You'll find what bloodlines they merged into. You'll find where they traded in commerce throughout the world. You'll find who they beat and who they got beat by. You'll find who indoctrinated them with certain spiritual things. You'll find out different tribes that came in and gave them sciences and they took sciences from. You'll find out, you'll unravel your mystery of you. Because if the practice is knowing thyself and you don't, then you haven't attained yet. I know exactly who I've been, who I am, who I'm going to be. I've dug so hard into me that I've seen previous life consciousnesses, this present. This man told me before I even revealed to him. He said, you know what me and you are doing right now? He said, we've done in a prior lifetime. You know how many people told me that more science? This man ain't even never heard of more science until I told him about it today. That he was a Terreno. He was a Moor. By way of the Spanish Inquisition and the Arabic brothers coming together with the indigenous Hispanic bloodline. Aztecs and Olmecs. Let me get back to this law. Circuit declined to adopt a heightened interstate commerce requirement when the victim of the alleged crime is an individual rather than a business. You're an individual. The Third Circuit Court held that the following instruction properly conveyed the way in which the government could establish effect on commerce through a depletion of asset theory. You do not even have to find that there was an actual effect on commerce. All that is necessary to prove this element is that the natural consequences of the extortion of the money payment potentially cause an effect on interstate commerce to interstate. Go look it up. For me to interstate, face, commerce with the world, you affected it by lying, by withholding from me the information necessary for me to do so in the first place, to any degree, however minimal or slight. Payment from a business engaged in interstate commerce satisfied the requirement of an effect on interstate commerce. If the resources of a business are expended or diminished as a result of the payment of money, the interstate commerce is affected by such payment and may reduce the assets available for purchase of goods, services, or other things originating in other states. In United States versus Powell. The court held that evidence was sufficient to establish effect on commerce through depletion of assets, and that the trial court did not commit error when it supplemented the model instruction with the following language explaining depletion of assets. This is an ironclad case for us when it comes to operating in commerce. Try to use the Hobbs Act if you want to. It was all given to me because I'm going to care for the babies with it. Every child that comes out the womb, they're not going to get stripped of the amniotic fluid anymore so that the nutrients of the mother can actually be absorbed into their being. They're not going to get the halogen lights about the hospital lines. They're not going to be in the hospital being forced to sign a birth certificate to where you're almost getting you're about to get put in jail for not signing your child over to the state, and you're okay with that. There will be no more fluoride. There will be no more rubber. There will be no more spurious practices to disconnect us from Earth when I'm done with this. I'm going to dissolve and decimate everything. Every corporation in this land. If they do not start putting in healthy, organic, natural things and giving the indigenous people everything for free of charge because of the encumbrance on them, I'm going to decimate them all. Move your corporation. Get off my land. I'm going to call them all to the table. Now, you want to see in real action what enforcement of law is? You want to see all 6 acts operating at one time? You're going to watch it with me. Because I can't keep sitting reading these acts and not enforcing them. I can't keep sitting letting these teachers tell me about these acts and not see these teachers enforce them. Then I will be saying that I am a lie to myself. And I be damned if I lie to me. I barely know how to lie to other people, and I'm gonna stand myself in. Well, let me get off my high horse. I be telling some tall tales sometimes, baby, but this is the truth. Come on with it, baby. I'm glad y'all with me this morning, man. Stay with it. We gotta share it on up. We gotta get people to know what's going on. We gotta spread this like wildfire. Now listen, if I can have a video where I square off with the police and it's 10,000 views when they let me go, or when I got captured, or the both times put together it was like 13,000 views. Now you have a video where there's somebody that you've seen go through that is telling you about billions of dollars and laws that you could protect yourself with and land and all of that. If you can't get this up to close to 10,000 views and I have more friends than I had before, then something's wrong. People need this work. Now, following the language explaining depletion of assets, you can, but are not required to, find an effect on interstate commerce if the defendant's actions reduce the assets of a business engaged or purchasing goods or services in interstate commerce, which assets would otherwise have been available for conducting the purchase of such goods or services in interstate commerce. Basically what they said was, because they had my money doing what they thought was the best with it, they didn't give me an opportunity to do what I thought was best, and I'll do a whole hell of a lot better with my wealth than anybody will. What you saying to me? I bet you when my wealth comes, I'm going to do so much better with it than they, because they try to possess it. I am trying to give it. And when you try to give your wealth, it has a natural way of replenishing itself. But that's the only science they didn't get. Dubbies. The balance of my yacht is real, buddy. So you go ahead and pocket all that if you want to and see how much come back to you, opposed to when you give it, and I'm talking about in a wise way. You give it in a contract, which a contractual agreement means. Contract means friends. The instructions serve to exemplify one way the required nexus can be established. Okay. With all of that law that you have and the explanation of it, it applies to anyone in trust with us. Okay? If you're going to get on a way to get here, I'm going to give you specific names. Okay? I'm going to do that right now, of people you can connect with that I need you to support and talk to and deal with all together. These are tribal mothers. These are sons. I'm going to give you some names when you email me. I'm going to put my email right here. I'm going to get off here unless you guys got questions. How does it apply? What happens if you come here? What can you expect being in trust with someone? Amunra means this: Al-Moroccan United Nations Republic Associations. It's my intellectual property. I've already put it into effect. Amunra is Al-Moroccan United Nation Republic Associations. I'll probably think of a whole bunch more stuff to put into the world later, but that one I got. Here's my email. I'm gonna give it to you. If I ain't got no questions, then that means that everyone knows what everything means, and they've made some decisions, or it's making sense to them. If people are dropping off or sharing or getting on, James Russell, Pegged Wing, Eric Zanaba, Ten Las Revo, and whoever else is on here I don't know, if y'all want me to break it back down for you and go through the whole cycle of everything, and the people that already know me and been hearing the same Joe, come on through and go get some more people and share it on up. I'll go through the same thing again, baby. Another cycle. How much time we been on here? Don't know, don't care. Okay, y'all want to work? You gonna get to work. Every time somebody get up, they be on this line. They wake up, and then they get on the Facebook and see what's going on. They want to be entertained, though. They don't want the real truth. They wouldn't know what to do with the truth. They say they can't handle the truth. That's what the OG say. He come out his sleep and just be telling the real. Look, I know y'all can't handle the truth. Here's the truth. There are really people who have wealth. There are really people who have land. You are that people. You just need to find it. Once you do, or once you find someone who finds it, then you know what you do? You get in trust with that person so they can bless you with the land and the wealth. After which, you take the blessing, or the gifting, and you do what's right with it. After you do what's right with it, then you get more. And matter of fact, let me show you something. Here's the final thing with the trustee administration thing when you come into trust with us. After you show us you're proven to be able to handle the wealth without messing it up or destroying yourself, then we show you how to collapse your entire bloodline's corporate entity and give you the net worth sum total and your family bloodline the same thing as we got. Because that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Okay? But we have to prove that we can be responsible with everything that's being given to us. So, with that being said, I'll be back on here 7:30. Let's do it. Every couple hours, we're going to do it like a job. Y'all going to share this one up and tell people word of mouth. Be on here at 7:30. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to come on and I'm going to go through the same cycle of real law and encouragement to get some folk here. Peace and praise to you. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Whoa, come on, baby.